Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medinah Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called, I didn't even give it a name. We're going to name it Brotherly Love.
Hey.
The ingredients you need to make a brotherly love: 1 lime wedge, 2 jalapenos, 2 jalapeno coins, seeds removed, 2 ounces of Blanco tequila, a half ounce of orange liqueur, 1 ounce of lime juice freshly squeezed, a half ounce of agave syrup, and you're going to garnish with the salt rim. So here's how you're going to make it. This is basically a spicy margarita. Okay. You're going to rub the rim of the rocks glass with a lime wedge, dip the rim salt to coat and set aside, add the jalapeno coins to the shaker, gently muddle. Add the tequila, the orange liqueur, the lime juice, and the agave, plus ice. Shake well until chilled and strain into the prepared glass over ice. And that is a brotherly love, you guys.
Welcome back to CockTales Dirty Discussions, you guys.
Hey, y'all.
So this week we have another guest. If you're watching this, you'll notice that he looks a lot like Medinah because it's her big brother. Yeah, you look like you're related. You look like brother and sister.
Do
Not
we
like
really do?
not like you.
see it.
Not like
I'm
you
brown.
and Mecca.
I'm like dark.
Well,
I'm like
the complexions are different, but those eyes, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, y'all, we have my big
mannerisms.
I don't
your
know how I got
mouths.
here, but I'm here. I'm on CockTales.
I was like, you want your brother to
Hey,
come?
I know, right? I said I'm gonna pull up. Look.
We have my big brother, Malik J. Ali, in the building.
Let's get it.
He is an actor, director, owner of Acts of Freedom Acting School.
Yes, sir.
And before you say, hey, Leek, I wanted to remind everybody it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And what is a message or a tip that you would give to somebody that might need some uplifting?
I would say get outside. If we're talking about mental health, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is go take a 10, 15-minute walk, get some sun, get those endorphins going. Or if you're really like me, get a workout in. Workout is the best thing you can do for your mental health. We look at this country, most people are not really active, and it's not an accident that the mental health has risen because we have a lack of activity. So get outside, get your butt moving, have a good time, get in the sun.
I worked out this morning, and it did make me just a little bit happier.
Yep.
Okay.
How about you?
I did not work out today. I did work out yesterday. But you know what other month it is? It's masturbation month.
Oh,
and
shit.
I didn't do that today. But that's a good way to get this hand going, okay?
I thought about it, but then I said
Everything.
no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I said no, don't do it.
So,
Don't do it in this world that we live in.
some people might be like, why are you bringing your brother on the show? And I would
Why not?
be like that too.
Because we talking about, have you listened to the show, Malik?
I have listened to a few episodes.
Uh-huh.
I listened to a few, and then I was
Which
like,
ones did you listen to?
this is back in the day when y'all was like in the trenches.
that was probably worse story.
That's when we were getting drunk and acting crazy. We're
But-
somewhat civilized
But
now.
I always said, it's like, y'all grown, so
Yeah.
at a certain point, like, what am I supposed to do? You know, it's like, that's how I look at it. You grown. I can't tell you how to live your life.
And another thing is, like, I'm really close with my sister and my brother, and they're my best friends in the whole wide world. And so I was like, it would be dope to do an episode where, yeah, we talk about sex and it's a little raunchy, and we gonna try to not talk about that right now with family on. But
Well, I got
think
questions.
I think it's really cool and important to get to know your siblings as adults. Like, we don't need to talk about, certain things, but it's just cool to incorporate you into my world.
Yeah.
I've been to your world. I've been to the acting school, been to the plays, and just like, it's cool to get to know your siblings in a different light.
As a human being.
As a human being.
Because you're not just my sister, you're your own person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. Do you
You
remember
are an
this?
adult. Tell him.
Yeah, I'm
You're
a
down
grown-up.
here 40.
Do you remember when this happened in high school when my brother got mad and he
Was you there?
I think Kiki, it was homecoming, and we were remember they would
Yeah.
have homecoming at the UTA stadium.
Yes.
And I had on
She
a,
was there?
I think Kiki was there.
Well, keep telling the story so I can remember.
We got to the stadium. I had on these strappy red high heel sandals that strapped all the way up to me. It was actually a horrible outfit. I had on a little frilled skirt and a red top, and the skirt was kind of hiking up a little bit because we were walking up that slant. And then my brother got mad, and he was like, "You're acting like a grown-up," and I'm calling.
But you wasn't even really supposed to be there though.
Was that freshman year?
That was freshman year. She wasn't supposed to be there.
But yeah, you was trying to be fast.
I was crying. It was homecoming.
And I caught that
It
ass. I
was
was
a
like,
football game. To be clear, you guys, at our school, we did not have a homecoming dance like a lot of people do. She's talking about walking into a football stadium that's an outdoor stadium in her hoochie mama
with
fit.
500 niggas.
My brother would have cussed
It was
me
about
out.
500
My
niggas
brother
out
did.
there.
And took me home. Yeah.
It was. Anyways,
Before we
That
keep
was a
going
great
down,
memory, right? I mean, I had to protect.
Look at him, that was a great
I had to
memory,
protect
and
my
she's
little
like,
sister. So look, I had
And
to do
I'm
what I had
glad
to
you
do.
did.
Right?
Because that's what you got to do as a big brother. I wish I had a
What would
big...
you say if your big brother let you just be out in the world
I'm
like
like,
that?
you don't love
as
me.
a freshman.
Yeah, you don't
not
really
a grown
love me.
woman. As a grown woman,
Well-
I'm a back off.
okay.
You'll mind your business. Now, I want to talk about... We're going to move on to weird sex really quick before we get back to these two right here, because I have another story about some sisterly love.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. Man is absolutely not necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
While we're on the theme of siblings. So check this out. There are these conjoined twins who have been sharing their story on social media because they share a pelvis and they share one reproductive system. But get this, only one of them got a man. Now, if I scratch your back, which is also my back, like you supposed to scratch it back and we should share the man. We already share a vagina.
Because I don't know how they can.
It's
both.
only one vagina?
Yes,
Yeah.
one.
Whoa.
It's just one. It's like one person, but the other one is on the hip. But she has her own head and
her own brain and her own life.
arm, like the upper body, yeah. And she has her own personality. So it turns out, though, she not mad. I would be mad, but maybe I wouldn't if I was her.
So they're like having sex. And
this
she's
is the
just
thing.
laying there.
They haven't had sex yet, the couple. But the other sister is asexual, the single one. So I guess it all works out. Maybe she can just take a little Benadryl and take a nap. Well, then I wonder how that will work. Well,
Because now she's dead weight.
well, I was just thinking, do they both fall asleep?
I want to have them on the show.
Because they have the same system. So if she take the
But
Benadryl,
not the whole same system. They have the same reproductive system.
So one might just be a little drowsy while the other one is knocked out.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, like, does it just get into your body? Somebody who's good at science, like, y'all let us know how would that... Well, we probably need to know more about their bodies. But anyway, they share a lot of stuff on the TikTok that all the kids are on, and they both seem happy, and they just answer a lot of people's questions. I just thought it was really interesting. I'm going to throw a
That's the
picture up
boyfriend?
here so you can see. Yeah, that's the boyfriend.
How old are they?
They are 22. Lupita and Carmen Andrade.
I just wonder when they go out on dates, like, does the boyfriend get the sister some food too?
He better.
Like, because you got to.
We always gonna third wheel it.
Yeah, I mean, where's she going?
Nowhere.
This my.
And you need to keep
She
her
ride or
entertained
die.
so she stay up, because how I'm going to hold her?
She
Then
right
you got to
on the
hold
hip.
both of us.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
And they got 4 arms, so it's like, we can punch you a lot.
4 arms.
Okay, so got my brother here, and we're learning about our siblings in a different light. So, Leek, I curated some questions. I'm sure Kiki has some questions that we're going to ask you today. So,
I'm
Leek,
ready.
what type of dater are you?
Now, when you say type of date, are you saying like, give me some more specifics when you say, you saying like when I'm
Are
on
you
a
a
date?
serial dater? Are you like a total gentleman?
I'm a
Are
total
you,
gentleman.
I don't really go on dates. We can Netflix and chill.
Right.
No, I'm a total gentleman. I want to go on a date. I
Opening
think,
doors.
yeah,
the
hell
chivalrous
yeah.
things.
Yeah, I think I'm more like old school. Like I'm open the door, I'm gonna take you out somewhere nice. I'm gonna pay for the meal. I like going to restaurants. I like traveling. I like doing fun stuff. So like adventures, maybe we're gonna go skydiving or something like that. Maybe we're gonna go on a hike. Like
So a lot of times we talk about how women complain about this on Instagram, about how men don't normally take the lead and plan a date. Do you plan dates? Like, or does she have to normally be like, okay, what do you want to do?
No, I mean, I would say that it's like half and half. I plan dates that I feel are gonna be fun, but then I'm also open to the date being planned. But I will say that it's more fun to plan a date, in my opinion, because like especially if you, whoever it is you dating, like if you know that they like a certain thing, or you want to get them to do something that they haven't done, the only way to do that is to plan it, you know?
Right.
But I'm also down to like go on a trip on a trip that someone has planned so that I can just enjoy the ride. You know?
These people she was talking about, they're not planning nothing. They're just
What they
wait.
doing?
They're waiting.
They're just like, hey,
I think that's
can't.
what the
I want to
complaint
see
was.
you. They're like, hey, I want to see you. Like an example is they'll be like, hey, like, what are you doing? And the girl's like, hey, nothing. What are you doing? Like, nothing. Oh, when am I going to see you again? And then the girl's already annoyed because it's like.
So let me ask you this.
Meet me here at this time, wear this outfit.
That's a date.
Or I'm gonna come pick you up at this time. We're gonna go. Or maybe you don't even tell them where you're gonna go.
It's simple math, but the people, it's a lot going on.
I mean, how
in
do
this
people
world.
date? I mean,
Are you single?
I am not single. No.
So
no.
you successfully dated to lock something down.
I did successfully date, but I love dating.
Did you feel like when you were dating this person that you're with, did you find that once you figured out you actually like her, did you put more effort into the planning of the dates, or is it just standard you always given a 5-star experience? Like
No,
as
I'm
far
not.
not like price wise, but like you planned it, you
I'm
put
not always
effort.
giving a 5-star experience because some girls you already know what time it is, right?
What time is it?
Ooh, what time is it?
Y'all, man, look, we on CockTales. There's certain people that's like, you trying to just get in and get in.
So
and
it's
leave.
no date.
No, it's not a date. It might be a dinner, right, just to set the mood.
How do you let them know this is not a date? It's not going further than a horizontal relationship.
You don't have to let them know anything.
See, that's the problem. The
Why-
girls are confused
why-
sometimes.
why would you
I feel
let
you.
them-
You should understand, but sometimes people write us all the time. Oh, we might go to eat, and he does take me out, but it's not progressing, and we are having sex, and it's like, well, girl, you just a fuck buddy.
Where did y'all meet at is the first question.
This ain't my problem.
That's what I
is
said.
good.
I always say, like, where did you meet at? Because that to me says everything.
Do you think that you couldn't take somebody serious if you met them at a club, for example?
I probably can't take you serious.
Why not? Because you in the club too.
I can't take you seriously.
But
not
why?
Not in the club. I really just like
Why?
because we in the club for one reason.
What reason you go to the club?
To turn up and dance? Is that why we here?
That's not why you go to the club.
That's why I go to the club.
You go to the
I don't
club
go
to
the
turn up and dance, but also to meet somebody and have a good time.
But
So
I'm
the
not trying
club
to
is
fuck
a
people
good
from the
time
club.
place.
My entire life of going to the club, the main reason that we was going there is to try to fuck something.
And this
That's
is
crazy.
this
That's
between
the
men
problem.
and women.
Conversation.
But it's funny that you say that because there was a discussion going on another show that I listened to, and they were talking about the reasons why women are on Instagram and the reasons why men are on Instagram. And most of the time, men are on Instagram to get women.
It's a dating app. to them.
Straight men are driven by getting women. So like, if someone said like we going to the club, the first question we're gonna ask is like, are there beautiful girls there?
I mean straight men and gay men, because the gay men saying the same thing about the gay clubs. It's a man thing, period.
I mean, I think so. If someone said we're gonna go to the club and just like dance, I'm gonna be like, that's not fun. And it's like I'm gonna be like, that's
You
not.
want to make sure there's women there.
There has to be women there.
I want to flirt, but I'm not trying to like go home with somebody. I want to eat chicken wings. I want to have some drinks. I want to listen to a Burna Boy. I want to sing Last and mess up all the words in the middle because I don't know them. Like,
But I feel like that's the difference between men and women.
yeah, it is.
There's a lot that goes into this, and y'all are just like, where did bitches at?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Life is simple. It is simple.
Well, we
It's
be
like-
crying and sad.
Right.
What's
What's your type?
you
gonna
your
guess?
type?
Are you gonna guess?
Let me
Guess.
try to guess your type based off of the people that I have met.
I'm all over though.
Very slim.
No, actually, I like a medium. I like a medium.
Ooh,
a medium.
well, let me
a medium
finish.
thing.
I'm gonna say very,
I mean, not that I know everybody, but I'm thinking of 3 people.
very slim women.
I like them.
Pretty like whether they're not like slim because they work out. That's just their build.
Natural.
Yeah. Somewhat.
A natural slim.
You like a natural slim. You like a natural face, natural hair.
I like them natural.
You like them natural. I feel like you like quiet women. I feel like you like women that are adventurous and open to things and vegan.
You do not have to be vegan. I used to be vegan, but I'm no longer vegan.
Welcome back.
Man, I'm so happy to be back. I'm so
You was
happy.
hungry, wasn't you?
I was so
Tell
hungry.
the truth. See,
I
I
was
keep
so
telling
hungry.
y'all.
I look at them pictures. I was like, what the hell was I doing?
When we
I
went to the
look
family
vegan.
reunion, we were sitting down at the picnic table. And I looked Yes.
What you eat?
I was eating chicken like a motherfucker.
When I turned to my
Chicken,
right and saw Malik bite into
burgers.
some chicken, my heart was just like,
I would've
look
shed a
at
tear.
him.
I was doing a play in South Carolina. Medina knows this, and I ate a pork chop.
And you know we
Y'all
don't
eat pork. That pork chop was hidden, wasn't it? I know it was. People talk real bad about pork,
I ate a
if
pork chop. That shit was good.
Was
as
it
heck.
fried?
It was fried.
I
And it was
never
from a
even
soul
had
food restaurant. It was incredible.
Now listen to this. Now when you told me that you ate a pork chop,
I was doing a play about slavery, so I had to really do that
Get into
research.
You have to get into
I had to get into
the
my character.
so when my brother told me that he had tasted a pork chop, I went to a restaurant the other day and I tasted bacon. And
Where'd you go?
Well, it was a little salad place, and there was I got a jalapeno ranch wrap, and it had bacon in it. And I was about to be like, take the bacon off, and I was like, you know what, keep that bacon on there.
That
What'd you
bacon
think?
on.
I thought it was very tasty. It was
And
just
you didn't even
bacon
have a
pieces.
hot piece of bacon.
I
You
didn't-
had bacon at the salad place.
And it's the reason why I did it, and it was inspired by you. Dad would be so mad. But one thing that my brother said was we weren't raised eating pork because my dad, Muslim. But then we are adults now, and sometimes you forget when you get around your siblings and your parents that I am a 25-year-old woman.
Right.
And I'm grown and I pay my own bills and I live my own life how I live it. And Malik was
If
like,
you
you
want
know,
to try something, try it.
yeah, Malik was like, we're not Muslim. Like Dad was, and like we can make our own decisions now. So it's like we've been holding on to like not eating pork, which I'm not gonna just be eating up pork chops. But
Yeah,
the
me
bacon
either.
was good, and I'm interested in trying more pork-related food items.
And
I
I was
told
doing
y'all.
research. I was researching. I was like, look, we black folks, we come from a certain experience, and I didn't like this conversation where they made like pork like inferior. For me, it was like we had to survive. So I was like, no, I want to have that experience, you know. And it was
Kiki is so happy right now.
I really am. This warms my heart.
it was delicious. I was like, this is incredible.
I forgot. She told me you had ate a pork chop. I should have brought some
It had
ribs.
greens,
Ooh.
greens with the macaroni and cheese.
I
This
know
is
it
a
was
Black-owned
good.
day,
establishment.
y'all.
It was hidden.
So,
You
this
said my
is
type. That's what I didn't even answer.
what
but
is your type?
Oh, yeah.
You hit it on the
She
head.
just
Did
said-
I hit it on the head?
You hit it on the head, yes and no, because like, yes and no. There are certain things you said that I really do. I align with because it's my lifestyle. Like I'm really into health, so obviously, I gravitate towards people that care about the way that they take care of themselves. But also, I think energy is a big thing, you know, and I feel like energy is like the biggest thing that to me is the most attractive when it's like. And that transcends like looks, because I've met people where it's like their energy is right, but maybe they don't fit the physical build. But I would still want to talk to them, you know.
What kind of energy do you like? Like, do you like somebody who's really hyper and high energy, or do you like a more calm, mellow person?
I like calm, but I also like fun. Right? It's like calm and yet outgoing.
Okay.
Right? Calm, cause like it can be too much. Like that super high energy with other high energy, when you get into an argument, that can be explosive.
Ooh, yeah.
I
That
know.
sounds very loud in my mind.
So I'm like, and I can be calm, but then I can be like super high energy. So I'm like, I like to keep it like the same kind of like, yeah, we calm, but then when we want to turn up, we gonna turn up, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I pictured you as somebody, a slim woman, many of the things that she said, but somebody like a diet Erykah Badu who's like earthy and wants to talk about like vibes, energy, and life and spirituality, no formal religion.
She
Probably
has
has
plants.
crystals in her thing with plants with a
Plants.
green thumb, wants to talk about all the ways of the world. Like today, we should plan a trip to some place ain't nobody ever heard of. We're staying in a hut with the people and it's gonna be great. And you're like, oh, I love
But like
her.
when she's staying in this hut, she is hot
she
and
bringing
sweaty,
you
but she
too.
still smells good and looks pretty.
because she found the stuff like she's just rubbing
Lemon
vanilla
juice
bean
and
oil.
lemon
Coconut oil.
And she
all over.
squeezes
We
lemons
do
on
a
her
hot
scalp.
yoga session.
Yeah.
Tantric.
And then it turns into sex, and she'd
Energy.
probably be pregnant a lot.
Yeah. Ooh,
Sorry,
Right,
picture.
let's not even talk about that, because the nigga got kids already.
So,
I'm trying to get some more wine.
can you reach it? We need them to give us little
We got
side tables or something.
That was a whole journey
I
trying
know,
to get
right?
that wine.
So, will you pour me a little bit?
I will.
Me too.
Look at us.
Why not?
We grown.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question on this list of specially curated
Thank
questions for a sibling is, like, what is one of the corniest things you've ever done to get a woman's attention, if you've ever done something
Nigga,
corny?
I was living in New York, and I was working at this cafe, and this girl walked in, and she was from Paris, but she was African American and like Moroccan, and she had like super curly hair and golden brown skin, and I was like, that's my wife. I don't know who that is, but that's my wife, and I didn't know really what to say to her because I was just like so caught off guard, and I was like,
damn.
this is a moment in my life where I was doing a lot of like spoken word poetry, so I fucking oh Lord, it was bad.
Well, Erica gonna be in there at the spoken word spot.
I wrote a poem. I literally wrote a poem like dead at work and gave her the poem. And was like, look, baby, I'm literally trying to marry you right now.
Do you remember the poem by any chance?
You want me to spit it?
Do you? Morocco.
No, okay, let me see. Okay, let me see if I can remember this. This is like spoken word. Damn, I'm trying to remember.
Just a piece of it, if you can.
It was a whole ass journey. Here we go. I met a girl at a coffee shop. Wait.
I feel like I need to
We met at a coffee shop and we danced the beautiful dance, the one we call romance. We smiled, we laughed, we lied until she told me she was going back and I cried. Why, God, why did you tempt me with the apple? I'm not Adam and she's not Eve. I was ready to mate but plant no seed because I got dreams and goals that I forgot it.
Did you give this poem
But
to
that's
a few
what I'm
ladies?
saying. I'm on a mission. Impossible is not. What's plausible? Action or thought. This is real and filled with rot. What happens to a raisin in the sun? I'm not trying to figure out, so I run and I run. We are children born of the sun. We are dancing flames, spitting lyrical fire.
Baby was writing at work. There was a line of people waiting for their coffee.
I literally wrote that shit like.
Did you say it to her so she could get the vibe, or you just put it on a note?
I know. I literally read it to her. I was like,
Malik,
really.
No, you didn't.
I kid you not. I really was like, this girl. Her name was Thais, and I was like, oh, like she was the most beautiful girl to me. Like,
what if Thais listens to the show? She's like, oh my God.
If she listens, hey, look.
You see how they do?
But I think
5 minutes ago, what I asked you. Thais.
You wrote a poem.
I didn't know what else to do. I was like,
response?
it was actually hilarious because like she was so much older than me. She was like, I was like 20. I'm gonna say I was like 25.
Mm-hmm.
She was like 32, and she was like, nah.
She was like,
nah,
young
baby.
man.
She was like, nah, baby. Like you
up
up here at this coffee shop slanging cappuccinos and
Do you
lattes.
know how much this rent is?
But that poem it wasn't bad. It wasn't a corny poem.
It wasn't corny, but I just think about like she didn't give me no play.
She did.
I would have been so caught off guard.
We did an episode a few weeks ago, and it was literally romantic or corny, and we went through a
asked me
list of
about that.
things, and one of the things was he writes you a poem. Before you get to know each other, we both agreed that it was corny.
It's corny. It's all right. I take the L.
But
it was corny.
But
A for effort.
But I'm an artist.
You gotta stand out.
I was like, look. I mean, you think about today, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to yesterday. I was on set, and I was talking to the makeup artist, and she was saying how like guys today they don't even have the courage to talk to women.
They don't.
And
They're scared.
I'm coming from where it's like we only had phones in high school so we can get numbers. They didn't even the phones didn't work.
Text.
Like we would go and like who you were was.
What you mean it didn't work?
The phone didn't even work. We just had it to put the number, and then when we got home, we gonna call you from the house phone. But you wasn't real if you couldn't go and talk to a girl.
Yeah.
Like
I miss the courage that the young men used to instill in each other.
We was courageous. It was like, that's her.
Now they get on the internet and just complain all goddamn
all
day.
Or they see you out and then they get on Instagram and say, I just saw you.
That's weird
and
as
it's
fuck
like,
to me.
That's the corniest thing.
That's weird.
That's the corniest thing
that's like a stalker to me. Like, don't see somebody and send them a message.
Yeah. Or it's just like, ugh. Like, if I saw somebody in real life that maybe has seen me on Instagram, maybe we've even sent messages before but never met, and we see each other in real life, or you see me and you don't speak, I would never give you the time of day. Even if you came up to me and I wasn't interested in you in the same way that you're interested, I'm not gonna be rude.
Right.
I'm not gonna embarrass you. I don't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no reason to be scared. Right. You should have been scared to send that message. Now I'm talking shit to everybody who will listen.
Yeah. And now we looking at you like, sir, are you gonna follow me?
Right.
So Leek, we've got to know the corny side. Which I do want to say, that poem was great. That was great.
I was having fun. I was like, I believe it's like either you're gonna live or die, so you might as well shoot your shot.
You may as well.
Shoot your shot.
You shot that
and
shot.
You shot it. And
I'm gonna keep shooting it too.
You gotta write that down so if you ever write a memoir.
Yeah, that got to go in the book one time. So What do you think about? Do you think the men that I have brought home since we have known each other?
Since we've known each other.
Do you think that
That's a wide array of Negroes.
based off of the men that I have dated and you've met, do you think I've made good decisions? Or do you have you ever
with bated breath.
met a man, like seeing the men and you're like,
Yeah, I mean, you made some bad decisions, but you made some good decisions too. I think that's life. You definitely made some bad ones.
mm-hmm.
It was definitely some niggas I was like, he ain't gonna be here, but today and tomorrow.
How do you act when she brings somebody that you not feeling?
I'm not gonna talk to him.
Has there ever been someone you didn't like? I probably know.
Yeah. There's been a couple of them where it's like, I just don't talk to you, and it's like.
Like, even if y'all were at a dinner table.
I'm not gonna talk to you.
And that's always interesting when your siblings do that to people you're dating, because the sibling knows. You're like, this ain't normal. He normally be nice.
You're not going nowhere. It's like, because it's like, why am I about to be your friend? There's no reason for us to be friends.
Can you pinpoint as a big brother when someone is maybe just using me for sex?
No.
You can't tell that. You can't. You've never been like, he not gonna be around. Like, he don't.
No,
really like her.
I have definitely known like when it's like, this is not gonna turn into anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say, whether it's gonna be sex or not. It's always just like, I can tell you're not gonna be here.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of man do you think?
But I also bounce that back to you, because it's like, I could tell. It's like, you could tell off of Medinah. I'm like, Medinah don't even want him to be around here for the long term. So why would I? Why am I
gonna invest my energy?
Yeah.
Right.
What kind of man do you think you want for your sister? What she should have, according to you?
Old school, classic, like a man, like a real man. I look at the modern day men, and I'm just like, like I said,
it's scary.
If you can't talk to a woman in person, at a certain point, I'm like how you gonna be a man? Like, how are you gonna stand up for your woman if at the bare minimum you can't even say hello, how are you, and try to get to know you in real time? A man. Someone that's gonna take care of my sister, and it's like, we're in a world. Can we even talk about this kind of stuff? It's like, we're in a world now where it's like all the fucking roles are reversed, and it's like, nah, I would want somebody that is gonna provide and take care of my sister and really be a man.
Did y'all hear that? So,
them niggas heard that shit.
But I think there's still traditional men out there. I just hope they start.
I think there is too.
For everybody that's listening, because the girls want it, and it's just like a constant thing. And I was watching a video. Have you guys ever heard of this YouTube channel called Tribe of Men? So my friend sent it to me yesterday. I watched 2 videos. I'm gonna reach out to him because I think he would be an interesting guest. But I only watched 2 videos, and his content is for men. He's speaking to men on there. But they had a really interesting conversation about role reversal and the men who are always playing video games and complaining about how women don't want certain things, and they're complaining about gender roles and all of these things. And his advice is really harsh, but it's interesting. But y'all ain't heard it.
Men
So
still playing video games.
he was saying, shut the fuck up, because all you're doing is playing video games. You need to get out there in the real world and do some things. And you're worried about not having this girlfriend who has standards, and you're upset that she has standards, and you need to have standards for yourself.
Can we have standards in the world that I feel like we can't even have standards at this point, the way the world is going.
I mean, I got them. But he was telling them to have them for his own self, not like in dating, but you need to set some standards for yourself and how you want to live your own life. And he was saying, like, these guys are young and they're complaining about not being able to get certain women. And he's like, you just need to work in your 20s. And in your 30s, that's when you can really explore more. The 20s is for having fun, and you need to focus on your life, because the reality is nobody wants to be with somebody who's not thinking about their future, and all you're doing is playing the fucking game. But that was just one little excerpt. I'm going to finish listening to it. He had some very interesting...
Tribe of Men?
Tribe of Men. I'm going to send you the 2 specific videos, because they talked about that, and then they basically were, the guys online were complaining about the women who are stating their standards, and they don't want to date a certain type of guy and all of this stuff. And they're
What's
like,
a certain kind of guy they want to date? The guys felt like women only want men who are at least 6 feet tall, make 6 figures, and have 6 packs. And
6.
Yeah. And so the Tribe of Men guy.
And I'm 6 feet tall, by the way. I'm working on the 6
I feel like he putting an ad out. But okay. And so the Tribe of Men guy was like, okay, but don't you want to make more money? The world is expensive and everything is not about money, but the reality is we have bills. We don't live in a society where things are free. Get to fucking work. The women are working. And then he said, and the six-pack...
Women are kicking ass.
We are.
Yeah.
Especially black women.
Yeah. And the thing they were saying, like at one point it was like 12% of women or something like that in the 70s were out earning men, and now it's like 40%. And he was also saying, you know, as far as the six-pack thing goes, a lot of women don't care about that as much, but you should want to work out and be healthy for yourself. True. Not because you think that's what a woman wants. And if all you ever do is things to get a woman, they see that.
Who are you?
Man, I like, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, when I hear that, I'm like, nigga, you gotta live your life.
It's for you. You gotta do things for you.
You gotta build yourself up before you can even present yourself to a person.
But they don't teach them that on Call of Duty and YouTube, so...
It's wild.
Niggas really be out here playing video games.
I don't know them, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't play video games.
And it's like you're not even on the gaming things where you can get paid to do. What are you doing all day?
What is you doing, sir?
You're gonna have a hunchback and just your eyes are gonna be fucked up.
Breath stinking. Okay, moving on.
You look dusty.
You look dusty. You've seen that clip, Kiki?
You know I
know you have. I just had to make sure. You look dusty.
You look dusty.
Okay, so we grew up in the same house.
We
have
did.
the same parents, and so we kind of like. I think it's always interesting to look at anybody's set of siblings, and it's like, wow, y'all grew up in the same house, and everybody's living such different lives. Do you think that there are things from our upbringing that show up in your dating or relationship life?
Hell yeah.
Like what?
Everything. I feel like that's the you learn so much about yourself when you reflect back and you look at the early relationships that you witnessed, i.e. your mother and your father. That sets the tone for how then you go out into the world and you move through relationship. For better or for worse, you know? So yeah, there's a lot that I've learned from when I look back. I'm like, oh yeah, that was that guy. That's why I respond to certain things a certain kind of way, because that's how I was in my house.
What's a pro and a con?
In our house?
Of the thing that shows up in your relationship life or dating. I'm
not super sensitive. So like that has been really hard because like I feel like we didn't grow up in a house that was like so like it was like, oh, we'll give you a hug, but you got to get up. You know, like, oh, we'll listen for a moment, but then it's like, get up, you know? So like it has been hard sometimes navigating people that have more sensitivities because like my mom is like, get up.
Sensitivities to what? Like failure and disappointment, stuff like that, like negative emotions?
All of it.
Which is interesting because I think that me and Mecca had this conversation with mom where it was like my mom is not even my dad that's the one like that. It's my mom. Where it's like I remember when
my dad is actually sensitive. My mom, and I'm more influenced by my mom in that regard where it's like
mom will be like, you have a day to cry and I don't know what you need to do to get over, but you gotta eat,
we gotta
stop
keep going.
Crying, and I'm the opposite. I'm so sensitive.
That's interesting that he's saying that because I don't feel like you would say that.
Oh, I told my mom recently in my adult years I was offended by that when Courtney Lee cheated on me and I had to go take my prom dress back and I cried and I was so sad. He's not listening.
That was 20 years ago.
I know, but I'm saying
high school.
to point it out, it was like my mom was like, I was crying. I was crushed. I wasn't going to prom anymore. I thought that was my husband. Like, I was so sad. And the way that he did me dirty, I was really depressed and sad. And so my mom was like, she came in there, she like rubbed my back. She was like, I'm going to give you the rest of the night to cry. Tomorrow, you're not going to be doing this. I'm not eating. You're listening to Celine Dion and Luther Vandross all day. Get up. Courtney had dropped by the house to put some candy by the door. Mom threw it away. Which I do. I love that mom is like that, but I am the total opposite. I feel all the things, and I'm sensitive. And I remember the other day I was on FaceTime with, we don't say his name on the show, but my new man, Bae, and I just started crying on the phone. And he was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I just feel like something." I just feel like this emotion in my body, and I was like, I just feel like I just need to cry.
And I'm in tune with my emotions, but there's a part of me where it's like, people start talking about the sensitivities. I'm like, shut up. Like, get your ass. I feel, and maybe that's the world that we live in now. It's like, there's so much space for how people feel. And I'm like, nigga, don't nobody care. You got to get up and go to work.
Life goes on. But I do wonder, too, if maybe your parents, and maybe y'all didn't see it, but I wonder if they took a little bit different approach with you guys because you're a boy, you're a girl.
Oh, I got to do all the shit.
Did you have to take out the trash and everything?
I had to take out trash, but I also had freedoms that when I look back,
which isn't fair, and I don't want to do that in my house.
You must have your girlfriend in your room, didn't you?
And with the door closed.
What?
I was having sex
at home
in the house.
I never knew that, and I'm telling Mom.
No one knew. My dad literally. I would have my girlfriends downstairs with me, right? Mm-hmm. And my dad would come. He would come and he would be like, "It's your world, Malik," and he would wink and he would walk upstairs.
See how they do the boys?
I'm in it.
That is absurd.
In it. 15 years old, getting it in.
This is crazy because that's why. And they ask me if I.
And that is the truth. It's like
I don't think I could bring a man home and we sleep in the same bed today at my big age. But let me tell you something. I have a little brother. Mm-hmm. He's 21 now. He is, and my mom, she will get up out the living room and go to her room so that he can have his privacy.
That's how you do boys.
But why?
Because
if you don't let them do it there, they're gonna do it somewhere. I also had girlfriends, and their moms would go to work. I'm all up in that motherfucker.
Were you having sex in somebody's mama's bed?
Yes.
This is
crazy.
I had a girlfriend,
and I thought I was bad.
And y'all know her because it's Bowie High School.
I know.
Her mom went to work. Every day, she worked from the evening to the morning. So, and I would go over. I was over there like
acting like adults.
That's why you gotta have somebody at home at night.
I'd be like, look, bring me some food to go, and I'm gonna pull up, and I would be there. I would be there every day.
But does that, knowing that you were doing that type of thing, and knowing that you have a daughter, does that make you feel like you're gonna be very strict?
Nigga,
how's that gonna be?
Because I look at it like mom and dad weren't like carefree parents.
Yeah,
they were on it, and it's like even if your parents are on it. Kids know how to get around and still do the things they want to do.
And
now, the ring alarms are getting these kids caught up.
The what?
The ring alarms.
Oh, because they got the video on it and everything.
Mm-hmm. And you can talk to the people. Like, you get an alert. I got one at my apartment. And it's like when somebody walk by, I get an alert. I can look at it and I can be like, get away from my door. I don't do that.
Have y'all seen, I forget the name of this movie. It has 50 Cent in it. And they robbed the bank. And they have the scene where they're going to prom.
What?
And the daughter's boyfriend comes over, and then they take him into the garage, and it's like 50 niggas that look like they just got out of prison, like literally like all tatted up, like wife beaters, and they like grill him. I'm gonna do that.
Where you gonna get the men from?
You gonna get the actors?
I'm like, look, I'm holding
a casting.
Active Freedom is hosting auditions
I'm gonna hold a casting call.
I'm looking for gangsta ass niggas.
I'm gonna call Dan. I'm like, look.
Does that make you nervous? So sometimes I wonder, like, the damage that men, and even though you're my brother, I know you've broken some hearts.
Man, have I?
And I have had my heart broken more often than not. And do you ever feel bad about what your baby girl, when she becomes an adult, might experience as far as heartache when it comes to men?
I think the world is different. I feel like that's what makes me so nervous, is because like we was doing stuff and we didn't have social media and phones. Like we were just able to be teenagers. Nowadays, it's like kids are getting so influenced so early that is actually very scary, because it's like you can see things that we didn't see. Like we were just being teenagers, but now it's like at 10 years old, you can get on the phone and you can see the entire world and you can make a decision as to what you're gonna do. That is scary. And that makes me want to be more intense. But also it's like creating the structure so that's not, you don't even have them options.
So
like
she's not an okie doke girl. That's what Dad calls them.
Right?
Okie doke girls.
You're not gonna be at Venice Beach.
And I think, but you know what?
That was a teen club in Texas.
It was the best club ever.
I never got to go to.
You didn't get to go?
God.
No, Malik got to go. I wasn't allowed to go to teen club.
I didn't even really want to go. My mom was like, you should go.
Little Flip.
And the foam parties. That was so disgusting.
It was
but
disgusting. I was in that motherfucker.
I think my mom was afraid that if she was too strict, we were going to be really wild. And that's always been her thing. I think her parents were too strict, and she has flashbacks
and I think
to
that's,
the things that she got.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm actually kind of scared of some things. I do a little bit, but I ain't doing too much. And I think that's the best way to go. Let your kids be a little scared.
Yeah, you gotta let them have some experiences so that they can figure out who they are.
Do you?
I like cocktails. I'm coming back.
Yeah, come back whenever you want. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
Puff Daddy.
What?
I kid you not.
You want to be in the videos with the bubble jackets?
When I read this question, I remember Puffy and just being like, he had the curl with the fresh outfits, and he was a mogul. And I didn't know what he meant by that, but I was like, I'm gonna be a mogul. Like,
who do I know that's a mogul? Like,
right?
that's gotta be
And
elite, top tier.
And at that point, before, he was the flyest one to me. Like,
yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. He had the outfits on. He had the fresh edge. Like,
You
he had
still
the
want to be
girl.
Puff Daddy?
No, no more. Not no more.
He
No.
be having a harem of women.
He does.
And his girls was super bad.
Mm-hmm. Still.
Cassie.
When it comes to relationships, Leek, what do you prioritize? Like, what's your thing where you're like, these things got to be...
Ooh. We gotta peel the layers off this one. So when we say prioritize, I'm saying from the other person or from myself?
Yourself.
As
Yeah, yourself and then the other person.
Do that one, because that's what I want you to know,
Okay.
the other person.
As I get older, man, what I prioritize, I have to have my own vision for how I want to live my life. Because I feel like the best relationships are when you're living your truth. Like, if you're not living in your energy and you're not living in who you are, no matter who you gonna be with, it's gonna be terrible because you're not being authentic, you know? And so as I've gotten older, like for me, that's the biggest thing. It's like, I gotta be me, like me to the 1000%, you know? And then you will attract people that understand who you are. So then you don't feel like, okay, you don't really know who I am, you know? And I feel like when you're younger, you're trying to put on a show. You know, like, oh, that girl's fine, so like let me figure out what I need to do to get the fine girl. And now it's the opposite. It's like, I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna attract someone who understands who I am and can see me for who I am. And that's the same thing for the other person. It's like, you gotta be you. And if you're you and I'm me, then we can come together and we can figure out maybe how to navigate life. But that shit is not easy. I'm also gonna put the caveat.
It's not, because
it ain't easy,
when you figure those things out and when you meet somebody, it's not like you put it all out on the table, all of your negative qualities or traits that you might have. You're not gonna come and be like, hey.
That's gotta come with time. I'm not trying to run you off just yet.
It comes with time, and so you kind of like.
But I feel like we should just create a way of like, just bring all the shit at the beginning.
Like maybe someone makes a dating app where it's like, it's nothing but negative things about you.
No.
If you really want to date me, this is who I really am.
But you're not always that. And I think that
that's
sometimes
a big part of it.
It is, but I will say this. I think that sometimes when people see a lot of negative things, it scares them. With anything, not even just with people. Like, you could have this amazing experience, but people start talking about the crime in the places. They were all the cars that got broken into. Somebody lost their luggage. Somebody got kidnapped. And somebody never made it home. But it's like, it could have been a great experience, but you'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have the experience. I feel you on that. But it's like the other side of it is like, we also have to understand who the real person is, not just the show. And when you first meet a person, that's the best behavior.
Well, the best behavior is carried on for not just even when you first meet them. I feel like you're on your best behavior for at least, 4 or 5 months?
I think
a year.
People would like to know.
And then you hit that year and you're like, who the fuck is this? Who is this?
That does happen.
Like, you literally be like, who is this person?
But what about the people who are really hard on themselves? And so you might say that something is really bad, but you don't think it's bad. And it's different opinions. So it's like, you might be selling yourself short. I would never
I want to know. I want to know.
I'm torn.
You say that.
Like,
I don't want to know everything.
Know.
I honestly, I would like for it
How
to just come
bad
out later and hope that you weren't putting on
This is a good red, by the way. This is, what do we call this?
CockTales.
CockTales. This is the
Winery.
This is 92. CockTales.
94. Freaknik
alive in
Addiction.
92?
Freaknik Addiction.
Freaknik Addiction.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's so what do you prioritize authenticity
And being yourself.
If we can't be ourselves, then we're setting the relationship up for failure, because the moment that who you really are comes out, it's going to be so jarring. You're like, oh, I didn't know.
It's just tricky, though, because I feel like everybody has to take that with a grain of salt, because I don't even think that who you really are, who I really am, it's going to come out over a span of time. I'm not faking it, but it's just some of the things you might not have seen me have to deal with grief, because it wasn't experienced during our relationship. You might not know how I get when I'm mad, because maybe I didn't get mad. So all of those things start to kind of come out within like
They have to come out in a natural way.
they have to come out in a natural way. Now, if there are like some serious things that you've been hiding, like maybe mental illness or something that you
now that you need to lay out
you
there.
need to lay that out there. You need to say, hey, I've got some issues going on.
I'm schizophrenic.
I'm
and
bipolar.
I need to let you know.
Yeah, and that's not
I need
fair.
to know all that.
Yeah.
Those
'Cause I'm not
things
trying
are
to-
important. But the other stuff, because it's like, how do you really tell somebody that? Because you have your point of view on this quality about yourself. Maybe you would call yourself hot-headed. Somebody else might not think you're hot-headed, and they just call it passionate. Or you might call it passionate. I call it hot-headed.
But
you
then
crazy.
also, it's like how it's hard to say that if you are bipolar, you have these issues, or you're hot-headed.
Well, I'm not talking about the bipolar people.
Well, all whatever it is, I also think it's important to take the responsibility upon yourself and ask. I asked my boyfriend. I said,
Are you bipolar?
I did.
Or did you say, do you have any?
See, I feel
I
you on
said
that.
I asked if bipolar runs in his family or mental illness, and then I also went as far as asking could he take the bipolar test, and he was like, "Is there a bipolar test?" I was like, "Let's look it up," because I don't want to get trapped up in this, and now I'm trying to figure out how to deal with this, and I love you already. I don't want to do that, so let's figure it out.
It's hard out here though because we in a different time period where it's like people ain't committing to people that
At
have-
all, people was like, "Oh, what? You got a lady?
Like I'm like
got to go."
I hear the statements and I'm like,
One of the people not committing to nobody.
I mean, you got 6 feet. I gotta go.
Not
if you
even
ain't
that,
6
but it's
feet
like
and you ain't got a 6-pack and you ain't got 6 figures, nigga.
I don't need
might as well go
all
home.
of that. Maybe some
Don't
of it.
lie.
No, I don't.
There's
I
no
really don't.
problem with it.
But the
Get
thing
it.
is, I want what I want, and I tell people
said
this.
what I
It's
said.
like, hey, I got my own life, and I love my life at this point. And if you're gonna come into it, I want you to add something. It doesn't have to be money
That
in my
part.
bank account. That would be nice. But how do you make me feel? What's going on here? It's not about
See, I
all of
feel
the
you.
little superficial things. Now I do care about some superficial things, but it's not at the top of my list.
I feel you on that though. I feel like you have to meet a person that enhances your life.
Because what the fuck are you here
Man,
for?
if they detract from your life, man.
Because you can have the
Um,
6 figures, the 6-pack, and the 6 feet
and be in
tall,
hell.
and you're stressing me out every day.
And now
I'm
I lost my
crying,
edges.
I'm keying cards,
Edges gone.
and doing crazy stuff. And I don't want to live my life like that. I want to be at peace.
Yeah,
and sleep well. I want to
right.
You're right
snore
about that.
loud and just be
maybe
fine.
let out a little poot.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like when I lay down,
some
they just be
tacos.
wanting to come out. I gotta lift that cheek up.
Okay, another
some
question I
black
wanted to
meat
ask.
and
I've
rice.
been waiting to ask this question. Leak, and answer it honestly.
I bet I know what
These
this one
next
is.
2 questions for real. Next 3 for real. The first one. Do you think men have a difficult time fostering the relationship? I made it a intelligent question because the way I was initially going to ask it, Mecca was like, let's change it. Okay. Do you think that men have a difficult time fostering the relationships between family and significant other? And I've had this conversation with a lot of people.
Hell yeah.
What's
and why?
difficult about
because I
it?
don't feel that difficultness. Whereas anyone that I've dated, I'm like, no, just come on. But with men, it's like men have this thing. Boy moms.
What's a boy mom?
Mom is a boy mom.
Because she got you.
Boy moms.
I never heard
it's
that
like
word. You
the
said
moms
boy
are
mom.
different when it comes to the son for some reason. It's not the same with like girls. So it's like what is difficult about fostering those relationships? Because I even have felt it when you bring certain girls home and maybe we're like,
It's like that's exactly what happened. So you're like, okay, it's not gonna work. You get
The same thing you was doing.
You're like, you get the.
But it doesn't
It's
visibly
cool when
show
you
it.
do it. It's a problem when she do it.
You're like, oh, this is not gonna work, baby. This is not gonna work if we're not having this vibe. I feel like, and I also feel like it depends upon the family dynamic. Now, Ali's, we have our family dynamic is hard.
I've seen the
What you mean is
Christmas
hard?
pictures.
I'm saying
It
we're
seems
so.
very close.
I'm not saying like hard like a challenge. I'm saying like we're so connected to each other. It makes it hard for people to come in because it's like.
but we're welcoming also. It's not like we're
But
like.
also, we love each other so deeply. It's hard because like it's a rare occurrence for people to walk into a household where people really do love each other in a very real way.
Are
and-
you anticipating that it might be intimidating
It's
for
so
somebody?
intimidating.
Do they say that to
Yeah,
you,
of
or you
course.
just think it?
No, it's intimidating. It is. It's like
But do they say that,
yeah, it's
or are you
intimidating.
just thinking
No.
it?
It's intimidating.
The weird thing is, I only think it's intimidating to women.
Yeah, because
That's
guys
who
don't
dating.
guys don't think
Well, because
that
I'm thinking
much
about the
about
people
it.
that I brought home. They
Oh.
don't think they feel that.
Yeah, because guys be like, all right, bro, what's up? And they be like, we watching the game. And that's like the end of the conversation. It's like, the game's on, and now like we done.
Women are
like looking at you, and it's like, mm-hmm. And they like, then they get their friends involved, and you get the others, and then they look at them, what you do?
Now they in the kitchen cooking, and we're like, well, wait, what you cooking?
You ain't seasoned that right.
That happened to me.
Where are people from?
Where you
Somebody
from?
did that
Exactly.
to you?
Where you from?
My boyfriend's mom did that. My boyfriend's mom.
She did. What
Where
was she
your people
making?
I told
from?
her, she was like, "What? You didn't season the inside of the chicken." And I
Oh,
was like,
when you did the date night thing?
yeah, and I was like,
Where you people
I
from?
would cry.
I
would go in the bathroom and
but
cry.
she ate the whole chicken, so
I remember.
Women are no joke.
women, we can't be a joke.
I mean, yeah,
Y'all
you're
hold
right.
it.
'Cause when
Y'all hold that shit down. I don't even have the stamina. Like I'm like, you gonna lose.
Okay, so which brings me
Yeah.
to my next question: are holidays stressful for men?
Hell yes. The motherfucking holidays, nigga, I'm gonna be Samuel L. Jackson on us in this motherfucker. It is the hardest
What
shit
is
ever.
so stressful
That's what
about
I
it?
want to know.
I
Okay,
can
so
only speak to
intimidation
my
factor.
family. I
Right, we
can't
want you to speak for
to
your
no one
own
else's.
experience.
Do that.
Nigga, we Ali's. We have 7 different pajama outfits for that.
I've seen the photos.
We have
and
we
y'all,
have
I
an
feel like y'all
outfit in the
sing
morning,
Christmas
an
carols.
outfit for lunch. We have an outfit for the dinner. We have
But do you enjoy that?
You know what? I enjoy y'all.
He said that real nice. I don't want to get dressed 10 times for one day.
I enjoy y'all, so therefore I enjoy dressing up. But
And
it
do
is.
you prep your partner for that? Because
I don't
give
think
a prep.
I don't think you can prep people. I'm like,
I'll be prepping. You wearing
I
the
would
pajamas.
be excited about
that's
it.
not
how
a prep.
I
It's a
feel.
command.
I would be excited if
That's how
I knew.
I wish that people got excited, but
They probably, that's not their vibe.
It's hard because people come from. You're talking about different life experiences. That's what when we talk relationship, we're saying like people are coming from completely different walks of life, and then we are not the. We're like the not the house you just want to pull up to, because it's like there's a standard for everything. The dinner is at
All
this
of that
time.
sounds lovely to
It
me.
is lovely.
I think it's lovely. I don't see a problem with
I like it,
but
but
I
I'm just saying it's
understand.
stressful.
You
Some
said, is it
people might not
stressful?
like it because some people don't like to do a lot of stuff.
And this is
I don't like
multiple
it.
people that I've dated where they come over and they're like, "Oh, y'all really love each other," and they're literally like, "Yo."
I didn't know I was going to a Hallmark movie.
They're like, y'all really love each other. It's like we really love each other, and we really
prepped my man.
hold hands and we talk and we.
Wait
do
a
it-
minute,
we
y'all
do
be
the-
sitting around holding
we do
hands
the prayer
talking for what?
We do the prayer circle and we say.
Oh, like at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant
even
watching
at Christmas,
TV.
go around and tell us why you
What
love.
do y'all do at Christmas? With
We
the
hold
holding
hands and we say what we grateful and we do.
You do
Around
Thanksgiving
the food.
again?
Yeah. Like when
Oh,
you're praying. It's not like we just all sitting
My
in the living
mom
room
started-
holding
my mom
hands.
That's what I'm
started-
picturing.
You're
Like
making
y'all
it
about to
sound
watch.
weird.
My
Like,
mom
Y'all about to
started-
watch a Christmas Story, but we're gonna hold hands
My
while we
mom
watch
started
it.
doing a speech. She started crying.
And I'll start crying.
Every holiday, she crying.
because
That
it's
is so dramatic. I like it
Every-
though. I live for the drama because me and my sister, we get
I
mad.
love that shit now.
Me, my mama, and my sister that's next in age to me. We like the drama. We like the holiday. We like all the stuff. We're doing our fabulous
it,
Christmas
too.
pictures.
It only gets
We
stressful
think
when you
we're
bring
on
partners.
Real Housewives. Yeah, and the younger two siblings is like they don't really give a fuck, and I can tell that their partners are like, "Why are we here?" And we're all just like. How do we change this? Because we're trying to be nice and warm to the
Yeah.
people. It is intimidating. But sis, that's why I hit you up 3 months ago asking you if you had your outfit, because I was just gonna get you one to make sure the picture was right. Or sir, you need to. I'm calling you 5 times to make sure you got your hair cut because we're taking this picture.
you try to prepare and plan. One thing that I've done with my boyfriend is like I'm already telling him, we need to start talking to your family about Thanksgiving and Christmas.
about the holidays. Yeah,
So
because you were stressed.
Yeah, because it's like you don't.
It's stressful.
Because I got to see it from.
It's already made.
It's a lot, and it's like you need to start knowing what are you doing for Thanksgiving, what are you doing for Christmas, are you coming or not? Like
Do
so
you
that you
know?
don't spring it up on your mom.
Oh.
The week before Thanksgiving. Now it's like everyone's like you're not coming.
I think
and
my
we-
mama is still mad that my brother didn't spend one of these meals with us. I don't know if it was
We
Christmas or
be getting
Thanksgiving.
mad too.
But I was like,
How do you live as like a son? You're just like I gotta please both sides.
No, because this is exactly what I told Bae. Just start letting your mother know now.
but what if he really want to
But
be
you
with
love
his
your
mama?
mom.
Well, I
That's
asked
what I'm saying. You love your mom.
I asked him. I said, "What?"
and
I
you see
said,
how she's looking right now, like those eyes start to tune
No,
up. Like,
I said, "What do you
do
want?"
you
to
love your mom or do you love me? Is it your mom or is it me?
There are kids at our Christmas, so I get you for Christmas regardless. Thanksgiving, I did tell him. I said, Thanksgiving, if you want to go be with your family, we can do it separately, or I don't mind coming. And I'll start letting my family know that now, so that it's not like a week before Christmas. I'm like, hey, y'all, just so you know, I'm not coming.
You remember that? What was that Christmas? And you had to go back to work.
And I was crying.
And she was crying. And Mecca was like, no, we are going to buy the ticket now. You were going to stay another day. Literally spent like $500 to keep her there for 16 hours.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So last question.
That's how serious it is.
Last question before we move on to Indecisive Diane. In adulthood, and this is, a message for everybody, sometimes it's hard for siblings once you become grown to foster a good relationship or just like a relationship in general to stay connected. How do you keep that going? Like, what do you think are good ways to keep...
Call your siblings. Call them.
Send a meme, a funny video.
I call Medinah calls me. I call Medinah. We group FaceTime. I call Mecca. We send the memes. Me and Medinah be on the memes.
Mm-hmm.
You see that one?
Sending memes is a love language.
really
It's
is.
like, I just want you to laugh.
That Van had me fucked up.
My name is Van Van.
Oh, I love Van Van. I said, Medinah, have you seen this little girl?
Van
She was
Van,
like,
that is my
yes.
favorite
Playing
video.
outside every day.
But then they dropped the beat, and I was like, that's Dallas right
And
there.
she started
She was like,
walking back.
She was like,
My name is
but her
Van
eyes was
Van.
like, huh?
I told
gonna be
her,
there.
they said she looks like Quinta, what's her last name? Brunson.
Brunson, she does.
And she doesn't blink. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she didn't.
I'm like,
blink.
what's wrong with the baby? Her
But
eyes
she
are
was
dry.
hitting that hoe, though. She was hitting it.
I can't wait to see what she does with her life.
I can't
But
wait
you
to see
gotta
what she
call
does
your
either.
siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my sister, so for me, it's like, that's not hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who do you know? I don't know anybody that I've known as long as I've known my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to not call them, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, you have to call your family.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Yeah, me and my sister, we talk all the time.
We're
about
like the same.
anything.
Yeah. Close to our
But
siblings, too.
my younger sister and brother, I don't talk to them very much. It's a big age gap. I was so sad when my brother told me he doesn't remember when I was living at home.
What's the age gap?
He's 21. I mean, I'm 25, but time stopped for me.
Yeah.
And it kept going for him.
Yeah, it did.
So whatever that math is, I don't know. And then my other sister is 23. She remembers, but she's like I don't really like talking on the phone type of thing. And I'm just like, this is so hard. Y'all are so different.
And
I've
it's
been
different
blowing
'cause-
up
and
their
they're
phones.
a part of like
I don't care.
the generation of like.
And I'm just like, well, whatever. I'm the oldest, so it's my job. That's
Yeah.
how I take it, and I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Y'all not gonna answer, but I'm gonna call and I'm gonna send the memes.
That's the important part. All right, we're gonna move on to Indecisive Diane, and when we come back, Leek is gonna help us with some advice.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane, and this week, boy, do I have a treat for you. Now, it's in LA, so you already know it's gonna be expensive, but save your coins or have your man pay for it. The restaurant is called Soulmate. It's in West Hollywood. Here's the address, 631 North Robertson Boulevard, West Hollywood, California. Go here with someone that looks great, that you don't mind taking pictures with because you're gonna wanna take pictures. It's such an Instagram-worthy picture place. Bye!
Hey.
Okay, and we are back from Indecisive Diane, and it is time for the advice. If you have a question that you would like to ask us on CockTales, you can email it to us, advice@cocktalespod.com.
I tried to pick the most vanilla and innocent advice and cocktails, honestly, because my brother was here. So hopefully,
I want that X-rated shit. Come on.
yeah, this is not X-rated, but
Give
it's
me
not PG.
Give me the real cocktails experience.
So this one is titled "Trying to Get Back Out There."
Ooh.
Hey, y'all. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you so much. Y'all are amazing, and I appreciate all that y'all do. About that advice, I'm a 23-year-old woman who's fresh from undergrad. I've been single for 2+ years at this point, and I've basically lost all my friends. The lack of friends comes from me being the one to always reach out. And when the time came for my friends to do that for me, no one was to be found. In regards to relationship situations, my ex was 2+ years ago. And I've dated a couple of guys since, but nothing has worked out. So my question is, what should I do to get back out there and make friends and meet men or women? I've tried the bar thing, and that's not really my vibe. I like activities and doing things, but the places I've been going to seem to only have families, teenagers, and couples.
Damn.
Anyways.
I know, right? I'm like, damn, where you going?
That doesn't feel good when you are in a single
going to
vibe
all
and
the
you're,
good date
you're
night
going out by
places.
yourself and you're there and you're like,
It's just me. Talk to the instructor.
What should I do? Please help. P.S. I had so much fun at y'all's Nashville live show. The wine was good. Kiki, you are hilarious. Put me in, coach. And she did send a picture of herself in the email, and she put her Instagram. She's a cute girl. Natural hair. She was cute. Brown skin.
You do music because of your Instagram, but that's her Instagram name if you want to look her up.
I just want to see what she was talking about.
What would you say to her, Leek? What are ways
He's trying to say, what you looking like?
I was like, let's see what you look like. This is going to tell us.
She was a cute girl. How can she put herself out there?
I mean, she asked a whole bunch of different things. Like, does she want friends or does she want a man? Like,
I think both.
I think she just want to meet somebody.
Well, first off, it's good that like you're trying to seek out new friends because it seems like what you said was like you were doing all the planning. Mm-hmm. So they're obviously those are not your friends because the moment that it was on them to plan, they ghosted you. Mm-hmm. I would say you gotta keep going out. Like you can't.
That really is.
You can't get tired of going out if you want to have connections with people. There's always something to do. I don't know what city you live in, but if you live in a city that has activities, you have to keep going to activities. You have to keep reaching out and putting yourself out there to make friends. Mm-hmm. And I think especially if you say like, if you know the kind of things that you like, then put yourself in those environments and you'll find people that share those common bonds so that you're now interacting with people that like what you like. And then you might meet a man while you there too, girl. You know, y'all can have a good time.
That's
they
true.
said you was cute, so if you cute, I don't see what the problem's gonna be.
You could also join our Patreon because a lot of the people who have met through just being on Patreon and commenting and realizing, oh, I met you on the live. Mm-hmm. Now we're at a live show together or something. They hang out, the book clubs, whether it's my book club or another book club. There's another group. I'm not a part of it, but I do have a friend who had to move to a different city for work. Mm-hmm. And she didn't have any friends there at all. And she found this group called Black Girl Social Club. And they have chapters in all different cities across the country. And they meet up. I don't know if it's like once a month or what, but it's like a collective of women and they have different outings. And she said it's so much fun. And she's been making friends and having different experiences. And it's other women who are like-minded that's like, I just want to meet people. Yeah. And then just on Sunday, a friend of mine was saying that she moved to Minneapolis, I want to say it was, for work. And she didn't know anybody. And so she was trying to make friends. And she went on Meetup. And I'd be forgetting about Meetup.
I'd be forgetting about Meetup too. But I used Meetup when I lived in Florida.
Yeah.
To meet friends.
To meet people. And she said she found a group called Bougie Black Girls in Minneapolis. And she joined it. And she was like, that's my tribe. And she made some friends. So, I mean, it's stuff like that. Travel groups. Medinah takes a trip. You could go on stuff like that. You've got to go to places where, whether people are coupled or not, they're open to new people. And I think be careful. Don't be touching nobody if it's a couple, but you could still be friendly with them because if you touch them, they're going to think it's something else.
That's true.
But you can be friendly and make friends. I mean, you might. She might. And then you could hit a one-hitter quitter because you got the man that you was looking for and the woman and bam.
You got a friend and a boo.
I also want to say this. When we were in Toronto, me and my babe went out to dinner and we got an airdrop. And it was like someone's trying to send you an airdrop. And I was like, I'm just going to accept it because I was curious to see what it was. It was these two girls sitting at the bar and they're like, does anyone want to buy us drinks? And I said, it said that on the picture. I said, this is hilarious because I wonder if it worked. Maybe try that when you are out by yourself. Take a picture of yourself and airdrop it and whoever put some words on it like, I'm looking for friends. Don't get kidnapped though.
I know. To me, I was like, this is a serial killer.
The girls did it. It was a boomerang and they were like, does anybody want to buy us drinks? And the words popped up.
I mean, it's clever.
Like, hey,
maybe y'all didn't see me over here, but we're here. And
it's the Raptors were in there. The basketball players was in there.
They was trying to catch a Raptor.
They was trying to get wrapped up. All right, next one, Kiki.
All right, so next advice. Okay, advice. My neighbor, don't do it. But okay. OMG, help. Please read it with my girl. You asking for a lot. We don't know if it's coordinator. Okay, hey ladies, love you 1,000 times. Love you back. Congratulations on everything. Hope to see y'all soon. A little help. I'm about 6 months moved into Dallas from Nebraska. I hope you went to the live show or going to the live show. I don't know when this comes out. Don't say nothing, but I've been doing a little dating and it's been piss poor, but it's some dick around for sure. Don't say nothing. You wrote it in the email. A little about me. I'm a mommy that's single, 22, and very motivated to hustle. I've dated in my age range, 21 to 26, and it's cool when you want to fuck. But I've done that for a while, and I'm a mama and a wife, to be honest.
What? I thought she said she was single.
I'm ready to build my businesses,
20s, my nigga.
grow, and find somebody to motivate me and do more with life.
Motivate yourself.
I have found myself dating the 30-plus club the last few years, and it's been amazing. Dates, money, fun, and a few were ready to wife the girl, but I haven't found a super spark or those 8 out of 10 boxes checked until the neighbor. He's 30, been in the neighborhood as long as me, but we hadn't spoke for months. He would walk his dogs, and the trail is right by me. He's been fine to me, but I'm so into work and over the dating scene here, I never pressed the situation. One day, he had his dog out, and I was walking mine, and he finally spoke. Since then, we smoked a couple times, and each time we ended up talking for hours. Okay. Garage vibes.
This 20-something-year-old
no
stuff.
Numbers.
I'll be damned if you got me sitting in the garage.
Y'all going to the garage to smoke and talk for hours? No. Okay. No numbers. Just see you when I see you. Yeah, because his girlfriend's probably inside. Or a sticky note on my car. Grow up. Well, after a week of a couple of sessions and no real in-house visits or late visits, he invited me over to smoke. I guess it turned into our Sunday thing. Sunday, his wife worked. Okay, smoke and eat. This was my first time in the smoke spot. Upstairs bedroom, 6 p.m. After 2 joints and a lot of talking, he asked me if I wanted to come later that evening to smoke again. God damn. You want to be motivated and you are getting high.
This whole story is like...
I'm high.
It's a conundrum.
Okay.
I'm ready to be wiped up. We in our 20s. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, what?
Okay. So after you went to his house and smoked all of the stuff, I'm sure you wrapped your lips around that little doohickey, whatever the kids call it these days. You finally exchanged numbers. Finally. And fast forward, it's about 10 p.m. I put the baby. I forgot you had a baby.
I forgot she had a baby. Ma'am, what is we doing for the baby?
And then she put 4 girl. I hope that don't mean she was 4, but okay. I put the baby down and he texts me. I decided to go bring us a little mixed drink.
Who's watching the baby?
Jail. But okay, let me finish
Services.
this. Where you stay at, sis? I decided to go and bring us a little mixed drink. This is just the beginning to a great night. Moral, I don't... Okay. Moral of it, if it matters or not. What? Were you high when you wrote this?
She said that because she left that baby in there and went to...
But this is grammatically incorrect.
Like, I'm a wife.
Moral of it.
I'm a wife, motherfucking in the garage on a Sunday, smoking blunts and drinking.
And leaving the
While
baby
the baby is ordering Roblox, I hope she ran that account up. Just charge after charge after charge. Okay, what are your thoughts on dating the neighbor? Oh, that's what you want to know about. And having them as a fuck buddy or getting in a serious relationship. You were invited to his home before he ever exchanged a phone number with you.
The garage.
You didn't know. You didn't even go in the house.
Went to the house.
You was in the garage.
She was in the garage, but she went to the house, and then she still didn't have his phone number. He doesn't need to call you. That's what that means.
But you talking about you want to be like seriously dating, but that's like the worst setup to be in a serious dating situation.
Yeah.
Garage, blunts, babies, and...
It sounds like you're about to make another one. Then it's not over.
It's not.
She says, what the fuck would happen if it goes bad? If it goes
It's
bad?
gone bad, baby girl.
Niggas gotta move and shit. Are the house meetings too soon? What? P.S. I'm not afraid to fuck first night if we vibing, so I did that. Laughing my ass off. I just want to know before I'm too deep. Should I keep it going? No, you need to go home and make sure your baby knows how to read. And the kids got this new AI app that I've heard about where they are taking pictures of their homework and the apps are doing. Y'all make sure your kids can read and do math because who's going to take care of us when we're old? We're doomed.
We're doomed.
And you want to go get high with your neighbor.
I think that this
I'm
is
upset.
a mean case of delusional woman. It's like, because you're asking these questions as if said man is acting, y'all are already like doing things the right way, if you will. You're not. It's already
He didn't ask you no question.
He didn't ask you nothing. And who provided the weed? You? Because I think you did.
And let's just hope it was weed.
Because it maybe was oregano.
Or meth, because these are bad decisions.
Yeah, girl,
and
this
I don't
is
know
not-
why you would leave your baby
At home.
to go get high with a stranger whose number you don't have, whose name you probably don't have. You have nothing. What if you would have went over
But she
there and
wants
you would
y'all
have
to-
got traffic?
She wants y'all to co-sign on it.
This is one we can't co-sign on.
Don't
So
co-sign.
this advice is stop and
Stop. You need to
Please stop.
refocus.
Focus on your kids, and you say you're trying to get money, so focus on your work.
You
And
got a
take care of your
job and your
kids.
businesses. I don't know if you've already started them. If you haven't, take some classes. You have free time. So take some classes. It can be online. Do all sorts of things and figure something else out. I don't think this is it. And that's just the
that
truth.
on that period. Okay, now it is time for the part of the show that everyone loves, which is the cocktail.
But if you ain't got a buck, I won't cup 'em. Spend 100 on me, it ain't nothing. One a double D, so stuffin'. Back to the point. Is it some cash in this place? If it is, I'll probably stick the stats in your face. Turn around. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a
Tails. But here's the deal. I am going to exit because I
I was
do
going to say, you about to leave?
I do not
can
want to hear
stay.
my
Why don't she
brother's
stay?
cocktail.
She wants to do this. I didn't tell her to
Stay.
leave. She don't want to
It ain't
hear
that
it.
Is it gonna be
It ain't that
explicit?
crazy. No, it ain't that explicit.
It's not explicit.
Mm.
Okay. Then
My
I'll-
brother wrote a rap song one time and I heard it. And I was like, you throwing back on what? I don't want to hear this.
You think I should leave?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I don't want to hear that. Like, what?
All right. Well, I guess I'll stay.
She's staying for this cocktail.
Okay, let's hear it. And we're not sharing one because we out of time. So
Yeah.
Oh, y'all not sharing one?
No, we're out of time.
I'm living in New York, and I'm working at this restaurant, and there's a young lady there. We'll call her M.
Okay.
And me and M, we're flirting every day, all day. Every time we see each other, we're flirting, right? And so one night, the whole staff at the restaurant is like, okay, we going out. We getting drinks. We going to shoot some pool, right? So the night starts, and I'm already drunk because we had a shift drink. This is when I was in my 20s, y'all. I'm in my 30s now. I don't do this anymore. But we had the shift drink. I had an old fashioned, so I'm already feeling good.
Oh, that's a good, strong,
That's a good,
manly
strong, manly drink. We get there, and we're flirting nonstop. Now, I really thought M was beautiful. She was long hair, thick hips, and I wanted to hit it. So I'm just saying, I was like, look, I'm about that life. So I knew that she wanted it too because the way that we were flirting with each other. So the night ends. I think some of the people did some cocaine. I didn't touch it, but I know some
You
people.
were a server. They was doing it.
I know they
They
did
was
some
doing it.
cocaine. She ends up coming back to my apartment. Now this is straight artist apartment. We got lofted beds.
Yeah.
Medina seen
This
these
is like
lofted
a New
beds.
York
This is
movie.
that
Yeah.
New York, just fresh there, ain't got no money to my name, but trying to get it, right? So we're doing it. I get it.
Wait, when you say lofted bed, you had
Lofted.
It was if you
like you had to
fall
climb
over-
a ladder
you had
to
climb
You
get.
had
on
to
a-
climb, and it was like, I'm gonna say it was like 5 feet.
It was very tall. It was like
My friend has one of those in Seattle. When I went to her house, and I was just like, I kept thinking, what if I was drunk? I gotta sleep on the couch downstairs.
We were drunk.
Yeah.
We go in. It was a great night. Like it was.
Nobody fell down.
Well, let me keep going.
Okay.
It was a delicious evening, right?
Okay.
It was worth
Everything.
everything. So we're laying in bed. I'm like, yo, we fucking relax, like chill out. Around 4 o'clock in the morning, I hear her like rustling and she's like getting up for some reason. I don't know if she's trying to pee, if she wants her phone, but she ends up getting to the ladder and she falls off.
Kiki, when I tell you it was high.
She falls off the lofted bed. All I heard was the thump, and I hear her say, my ankle, right? And I'm drunk. Like, I'm literally like
what?
I'm like, what? Like, I don't even care. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even give a fuck. I was like, great, I got what I wanted. Out of this situation, I hit it. I got what I wanted.
Mission accomplished. You can go. Really.
So I help her. I'm like, okay, why you get out of bed? I like literally say, why you get out of bed, girl? Like, get back into bed. So I help her get back into bed, but she's like crying.
She's in pain.
She's in pain. I put her in a cab. I gave her my, first of all, like, let me say this.
I checked it out, but I put her in a cab.
I gave her my basketball shorts and my Vans. I never got them shits back.
You still mad.
I'm still mad. I put her in the cab. She goes home. I come to work the next day. She comes into work. She has a boot. So everybody's like, "Ooh, Malik, you hit it so good that she got a boot on the leg." And I'm like,
all of work know. Why did they know?
Because we had been flirting. We had been flirting openly for damn near 4 months. So when it finally happened,
the anticipation.
They was like, yes, right? Mm-hmm. But she was mad because I didn't reach out to her. And I was like, I was not trying to, like, you wasn't my girl. I literally just wanted to
That is mean, Malik.
I literally just wanted to have sex with her.
Was it broken?
She broke her ankle.
And you put her in a cab to hobble
when the ambulance
she stole
needed to be called.
She stole my shoes and my basketball shorts.
You gave them to her.
She stole them. And then, so peep this. Fast forward. We don't say anything to each other. We're just like, hey, it was a good night. I'm gonna keep it moving. She takes this night that we had together and she writes a story.
Naturally.
Do you know The Moth?
No, I love The Moth. I've told you about The Moth. It's a podcast, and they get together. They have story jams. They pick different themes, and they have people come up and share a story. It's a big.
How do you think CockTales got started? Niggas doing shit like that.
She shared the story and won.
I know that's right. So then she can be like, you know what? I broke my ankle, but it was worth it.
I never listened to the story because I was like, what did she
say? Find the story. Do you know what episode
I don't know. I ended up seeing her years later, and she told me, she was like, it was a great night. Thank you. And I also became this da-da-da-da because I won the fucking Moth.
I love The Moth.
Because of that night.
I'm going to send it to you. They have the most amazing stories.
It was a great night, though.
Wow.
I don't regret it.
You heard it right here on CockTales. My brother's breaking
ankles. Do not give a fuck. You can break your ankle, and they just worried about the Vans. Did the girl ever walk again, right?
That's crazy.
I wanted my shoes back, though.
You still do.
I did. I wanted my shoes back.
We'll help you get them back.
I didn't tell her to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and try to get down from the loft bed.
She was drunk, too. And she might have got a bump of coke.
Anyways, this has been an amazing episode, Leek. I'm so thankful and grateful to have you as a brother, to have you as a guest. Let everybody know where they can find you, what you have going on, if you want them to know.
They can find me on Instagram at Malik J Ali, MalikJali, and also at Acts of Freedom ATL. That is ACTSOFFREEDOM ATL, and that's all of my acting related stuff.
So if you are wanting to be an actor, you want to get in some classes, I highly suggest you check out the class.
Only come if you really are interested in acting. Yeah. We only work with actors that really want to act.
That are serious.
No beginners?
No, if you really want to be an actor. All of our actors are working actors, and if you want to act, then come. If you're just coming to just like play around, it's not the studio for you. And that's just the truth.
Thanks so much. Period, Pooh.
Peace.
All right, make sure you guys check the description box for the links to everything. And then follow us on Instagram. We're at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Kiki Says So. Well, damn.
Sorry.
I'm at Kiki Says So.
And I'm at Coffee Bean D.
Goodbye.
Bye. My bad. I gotta use the bathroom.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Wait on the track. Wait on the track. I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the track. Bye. Bye. Bye.